Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. DB333, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserredux as, well, the Barakzai Empire. I still gotta get used to that. In the last video, we started purging some of the more funky elements. Oh, that's a border conflict in the state. Interesting. We started really starting our rule here, and we're looking to possibly make a compromise with these bandits. And in fact, we are just going to go ahead and we'll just accept it, I guess. Why not? It's gonna take a hit to our political power and our consumer goods, actually, which is not the best. I mean, we're doing pretty okay, generally speaking. So I'm not even the most worried. Our industrial base is coming up. And who knows how long it'll last, anyway. Beijing has fallen. Ukraine's having a border conflict along the Dnieper, huh? I know, how strange. This man has fallen far. Who would have thunk it, huh? Does Illyria always own this? I don't have cores on it, so it doesn't look like it. What happened here? I'm now confused. What wacky scenario. I know. I don't believe this for a second. Oh, look. Border region in the Donbass, too? Oh, this is just fiction now, isn't it? So isn't there a city around here named Batman? Or am I just mistaken there? I think they annexed Slovenia after they declared independence. Oh, are they independent? Well, they're in a faction, but yeah, they are independent. Look at that. Yeah, go figure. I don't want to do this. Okay, what's gonna hurt more immediately? Probably this, so we'll do this one first. Let's thin out the expedition. The German expedition has remained in Afghanistan for too long. While Kaiser's help has been invaluable, his soldiers have begun to gather a clique of seditionists and fifth columnists around them, seeking to draw Afghanistan closer to Berlin. This simply cannot continue. Well, it would be simple to expel them. Doing that would anger the Kaiser and alienate a good friend in time of crisis. So Nasrullah will send a letter to the Kaiser and ask him politely to draw back most of the expedition. The skeleton crew that remains will be useful to us, while also being so hobbled as to not be a threat to Nasrullah's rule. Unrest, I know, unrest in the Donbass. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? Let's get working on construction. We're going after Puerto Rico. Isn't this Natpop Puerto Rico? Yeah. Remember, Natpop Puerto Rico was a thing. Always join the Entente. I was reading on the news that Denmark's queen stepped down from the throne yesterday, effectively. Or is it today, technically? Oh wait, Denmark is just getting a new monarch. Their queen just got tired, and she just said, yeah, I'm done with this shit. I have my son rule the country. Mohammed Aziz Khan, the Afghan ambassador to the Reich, has met with the Kaiser in Berlin and discussed limiting Germany's presence in Afghanistan. After a cordial conversation, the Kaiser has seen to it that the expedition will be greatly reduced in size in order to prevent the sovereignty of Afghanistan and ensure that the army is more reliant on their own people than foreign officers. Only a fraction of the Germans remain in Kabul, as most of them return to their homeland with gifts and our best wishes. Their departure does not spell the end of our the close relationship between our two countries, but as Afghans must take of our own. Safe tidings. Good for them. Yeah, I think. I mean, they seem to enjoy their monarchy, from what I can tell. I don't pay too much attention to Denmark, I'll be honest. If any Danes are watching this and you have any thoughts one way or the other, please tell me, because I'm curious. But, yeah, you know, good for them. Oh, we could also start working on our armed forces once we do that one. It's going to be, well, actually, we already have this we could do. Nordmark seem to be a bit more popular. Yeah. I've noticed that a fair bit. Could look east. We could go after these guys. Well, if I'm not mistaken, if we go down... The path that we go down eventually... I think we'll eventually get cores on all this. Or, like, cores that we can go after eventually. Well, we'll get cores on Iran. Caucasus... We'll get cores on like, all the Middle East, it looks like. Which is actually, like, insane how many cores we will get. Let's start with... We'll just go down this for now. Let's reverse secularization. Habibullah has made great strides in many things, and probably most egregious was the increased secularization of Afghanistan. The emirate is tied fundamentally to Allah, so Habibullah's attempts to separate the two are simply laughable. Nasrullah, with the support of his cleric allies, will begin to undo these reforms and make Afghanistan right once more. We'll mesh our state into its fundamental religion so much that to try and separate the two once more would be impossible. Islamic and Central Asia, uniting the Islamic world. True. That would be very fun. I worry if we go after Central Asia, though, that will put us in Russia's sights, and I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, historically, we know how well that worked out for Russia, but I mean, I guess it looks like we could come up with an agreement with Russia. But do I want to do that? Eh. Can't separate the church and state if a state is the church. Got him. You get it, Philip. You get it, Philip. Do that. We're gonna have to fight Russia for Central Asia anyway. True. Belgrade Pact versus Bulgaria. That is... Greece is not in that. That is interesting. Although the Greco-Buddhist culture that once dominated these lands has been gone for millennia, their footprint still remains, for Greco-Buddhist art still adorns much of Afghanistan despite untold centuries of aesthetic Islamization. Surviving Greco-Buddhist art and relics like the gorgeous marble high-relief carvings, the Bodhisattva, and Chandika, made in Hada in the 5th century, the massive Buddhas of Bamiyan, or even smaller pieces of gorgeous metalworking like the golden Bimaran casket, all great examples of the beauty, culture, and talent of our forgotten past. But these pieces are despised by many traditionalist Islamists who support Afghanistan's practices of erasing the Greco-Buddhist past entirely as a sign of total devotion to Allah. Shall we work to finally finish the total Islamization process, destroying and replacing the last of his potentially harmful Greco-Buddhist influence, or should we allow this portion of our history to remain as it is, and always has, despite its heretical nature? Alternatively, we could work to fund a new wave of Afghan art, both Islamic and Greco-Buddhist in design, in order to revitalize this nearly lost art form, and uplift it as one of the many cultural facets of our nation at the crossroads that has always made Afghanistan unique. What shall we decide? Finish the total Islamization of Afghan art. Oh, that pains me. That reminds me of what the Taliban did to those statues in real life. If you don't know what happened, they did not exactly treat those poor statues well. It was a shame. Nobody can know of a femboy Greek tradition. Constitutional American Republic. I saw what is that? The crescents threw me off a little because I was thinking Islam, but it's also a big part of this flag of South Carolina. So I'm guessing it's probably that. I'm guessing. I don't know for certain, I suppose, but what the fuck is that flag? I don't know, man. I do not know. Let's put an end to the young Afghans. Those stars are so bootleg. These so-called young Afghans don't know what's good for them. They seek progress and modernity in the face of all its hazards. We saw what happened with their progenitor, the Young Turks, took over Sublime Port. The group is already reeling from the exile of their man of the royal family, Amanullah. Nasrullah has ordered the police and army to launch a series of raids on known young Afghan hideouts in order to leaders arrested. With their leaders gone, the wayward souls will return to the fold and be welcomed. I know Iceland has a kind of funky tree, potentially. Yeah. Those damn youngsters, that's what I'm saying, man. One thing that I've been strangely tempted to do an Iceland campaign. Like a normal Kaiserredux Iceland campaign. Because nothing really happens, but I played it once just out of, offline, just for shits and giggles. It was actually, like, strangely fun. Okay, Afghanistan's local drug trade. Here we go. Here's the fun stuff. Despite a love of imported opium or other plant-based consumables, the Afghan drug trade is dominated by Naswar, also called Nas, Nasor, or Nasve. Naswar is a moist powdered tobacco that can be found packed into the lips and under the tongues of untold thousands across Afghanistan. Coming in two main forms, loose powder or in compacted pasted cakes mixed with lime, Naswar is known for being pungent, holding a powerful smell that resembles that of freshly cut, still wet coastal hay, with its flavor being subtle until it mixes with saliva. The nicotine effect kicks in about 5 minutes of chewing, producing a slight burning, numbing irritation on the upper lip and tongue. The main powdered form is made by pouring water into a cement-lined cavity, to which slaked lime, or calcium hydroxide, and air-cured sun-dried powdered tobacco is added. Later, indigo is added to the mixture to impart its famous bright green color, and ash from the burning of juniper bark, along with cardamom, oil, menthol gum, sesame oil, and more, can all be often added as flavoring as well. While the paste form is made by taking the prepared powder and adding water to it so that it may be rolled into little balls and set to dry, creating little chewable balls that cause the same effect. Frequently sold on platters along sunflower seeds and cigarettes, or in their own rolled package, Naswar and its derivatives are not only important to Afghan culture and our traditional way of life, for Naswar sales both domestically and internationally help fund our economy in a major way, as Naswar is commonly exported to Russia and Eastern Europe, Iberia, and the rest of Central and South Asia. Cities like Herat, Banu, Dera Ismail Khan, Charsada, and Momand are some of the largest producers of a snus-like compound, with their sale and production forming a large pillar of the urban economy while also enriching the lowly farmers that grow tobacco in massive fields. With all this in mind, banning Naswar is out of the question entirely, despite its apparent health effects, like its ability to cause cancer. But that does not mean we have no dog in the race. We can continue to turn a blind eye to this problem in order to appease the masses, or we could actively tap into this commodity market, helping the domestic Naswar business truly boom while taking cut of profits to further fund the state. What shall we do? Spice must flow. You get me, Philip. The spices must flow. It also gives us an extra factory, which we desperately need, you know? Putting an end to the young Afghans. Well, desperately Amanullah has already fled to Switzerland. Many of his supporters are still prevalent within the government of the Royal Army. Fearing a possible conspiracy against his reign, when Emir Nasrullah took the throne, many of his seditious plotters were allowed to keep their positions. With the Emir's rule secured, we will finally move against Amanullah's remaining loyalists. Most important member of Amanullah's clique is Abdul Hadi Dawi, leader of the Young Afghans, following the death of Mahmud Tarzi. On the Emir's orders, the publishing house of the Young Afghans newspaper was raided by the Royal Army, where stockpiles of rifles and seditious flyers calling for Amanullah's return were discovered. At his home, Abdul Hadi Dawi was arrested for conspiring to overthrow Nasrullah and instate Amanullah as Emir. With the chief conspirator now in our custody, the question of his fate has arisen. Shall we execute this traitor to Islam and Afghan values, or shall we spare his life and allow him to spend the remainder of his miserable days rotting away in prison? I don't want to take the stab hit. I mean, we could afford it, but let's toss him in Kabul's most comfortable jail. That's a fate worse than death already, I can tell you. Probably. Let's work on reasserting our ties to Istanbul. The Sultan in Istanbul is both Sultan of the last Greek Caliphate and the Caliph of all Islam. Nasrullah, as a deeply religious man, seeks to strengthen ties with the Porte. Not only is the Caliph a religious strongman, but his hold over the Middle East is tenuous but still undeniable. While the Dominion may be gearing up for another round of warfare, an alliance with Istanbul would strangle that hope in its cradle and make Afghanistan as peaceful as the Middle East. I mean, I don't know if that statement is aged badly necessarily. But I don't know. That has a certain connotation nowadays. The famously peaceful region of the Middle East. Straight Industry 2. To improve machine tools. The world shall tremble at the sound of our peace, indeed. Dominion and Delhi. You guys are still in the Entente, okay. Chinese Revolution is defeated. Not a big shock there. What can these guys do foreign policy-wise? I think they just do their own thing, right? Ooh. Well, let's read and see what we gotta do. I'd be surprised if Delhi doesn't come out on top. I always see them win. Well, I mean, we kind of took a bunch of their land, so I'd be a little surprised if they ended up winning. But, I mean, that doesn't exactly help them much. Well, the Emir of Afghanistan frequently hosts state dinners and informal gatherings for his court members, influential figures, and diplomats within the country. A unique occasion arose when the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire was graciously received by the Emir and his court at the Arg. This reception was a token of appreciation for the Ottoman assistance during the Fourth Anglo-Afghan War. Arriving by plane and landing in a small airstrip in Kabul, the Sultan was accompanied by his entourage and royal guard, accompanied by an Afghan royal convoy. Upon arrival, he was warmly greeted by the Emir and his Afghan royal guard. Notably, the Afghan royal guard performed an impressive drill and salute in honor of his Sultan. Following this ceremonial welcome, both the Sultan and the Emir, along with their entourages, retired to the palace for dinner and entertainment. During this event, as the guests were engrossed by the generosity of their host, the Sultan and the Emir had an opportunity for a private conversation. It was during this private exchange that the Sultan revealed the mounting challenges facing the Islamic world, particularly within the Ottoman Empire. He described the Ottoman Empire as a powder keg with increasing strength of the Cairo axis and internal discord. Border disputes and skirmishes with Iran, along with escalating tensions in Levant and the Arabian Peninsula, have reached unprecedented levels. The Sultan, feeling cornered, sought a favor from the Emir to align Afghanistan with the Ottoman Empire. He's emphasized that the fate of the Ottoman Empire depended on Afghanistan's support in case of conflict. As they gazed out towards the rooftops of Kabul, the Emir delivered his response. which we'll have to wait until next time to see. Thanks for always watching, gang. Like, dislike, if you didn't, leave me comments or feedback down in the comment section below. I real comments get appreciate any all feedback you might have for me. Yeah. Check out my various links down in the description box below, including the Twitch, which this was filmed on live right now. And yeah, I will see you all next time. My name is Mr. Dogbot333. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye now.